Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be taking a look at a couple of knives here. In the past, I've actually worked with a company called Ganzo Knives. I've reviewed some of their knives here on the channel. They reached out and asked if I would be interested in checking out a couple of their other knives, and I graciously said that I would, and they went ahead and sent over some of them here, and we're going to be taking a look at 3 folders that they sent over for me to check out. Now, I like making these type of videos, especially for knives that not a lot of people might know about. They might not be as popular as some other knives, just because there are some companies out there that are doing some pretty cool stuff with knives, Ganzo being one of them. This is actually from one of their kind of subsidiary companies called Firebird. Ganzo is the parent company. Firebird is the company that's actually putting out the knives. So let's go ahead and take a look at them here. This is kind of like their standard box here. Pretty nice. So you have the logo right there, F3 knife. And then here is the first one. This is model number FH11-GB. I almost wish that they would give you actual names for the knives because, who can remember all those numbers? But, it is what it is. I do want to point out here some of their social media information on Facebook and Instagram. It is always really awesome to follow different companies, especially like knives and flashlights, on some of their social media, just because they sometimes will do different things on there specifically for the people that are following them, especially when they come out with new styles and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and open up this one here. One of the things that, actually let's try it on the back here. One of the things that I like about their packaging is that they do include certain things inside of the box here. So all of their knives are going to come with these little pouches here, which is really nice, especially for what you're paying for the knife. These are very affordable priced knives, but you're getting a lot of quality for what you're paying for. So nice little kind of slip here. You have the Firebird logo on one side and then the Ganzo tools on the other. So that's really nice. Black and red is actually one of my favorite combinations, so I like the fact that that's that color. You do have a little booklet at the bottom here. So again, asking you to follow them on their social media accounts, and then just some information on their different knives and stuff like that, a warranty card for you to fill out. So we'll go ahead and put that back in there, and the knife is in here. Again, this is the model FH11-GB. This model is actually available in a couple different colors. So you have the green one here, really, really cool green color here, and it is also available in black. So as I mentioned, you get a lot of bang for your buck with these knives here. I'm going to be reading right off of their sites, just so I can give you the specs as they list them on the sites. First things first, I talk about bang for your buck. This knife is listed on their site for $33. So again, for $33, you are getting a really, really awesome version. This knife, as I mentioned, is available in green and black, and I believe it's also available in gray. So you do get a couple different colors if you do like this particular knife. I like how slim it is, especially as you guys can see here in my hand, because it is a little bit larger than some knives out there. So this is what I would say a medium to large knife, but it can easily be an EDC folder, or it could be a gentleman's carry knife, just because of the lines of the knife itself. Again, this one is the green one, and you do have some silver hardware on it, so your pivot screw and stuff like that. Now, one of the things that they do add, which you don't see in a lot of less expensive knives, is because the pocket clip is reversible for tip up, right or left hand carry, they actually give you a little plate right here to cover the side that you're not using for the pocket clip. So that's really nice because they can leave it open, and it'll be a little bit less expensive, but again, you're only paying $33 for it. So they did include that in there, which is really, really nice. Speaking of the pocket clip, it is not a completely deep right clip, but it is pretty low, so you're not going to have a lot of the knife sticking up from the pocket, which is nice. They do have a little barrel spacer in the back right here, which acts as your lanyard point right there. So this is where you would put the lanyard on there, which is pretty nice because you don't have to worry about it going through a hole on the actual scales or anything like that. You do have a tiny little back spacer right here, which is color matched to the colors of the G10 handles here. Again, this one is the green one. It is a flipper deployment on this knife. You do have a little bit of jimping on the flipper right there, and it deploys very, very nicely. And take a look at that blade shape. Really, really awesome. This is a plain edge drop point D2 blade. Again, reading right off of their site. And I can tell you it is very, very utilitarian. You do have a little bit of belly right here, and then it kind of sweeps up there. Not a very sharp point because this is a fairly thick stock on this blade right here. So you're not having a very acute point, but it's pretty good to, you know, pierce into packaging and open things and stuff like that. You can really use that for that. But I think the shape of this blade lends itself to be a great EDC blade, great EDC slicer. You do have a little bit of jimping at the top of the blade right there. It locks your thumb in there if you needed to. As you guys can see right here in my hands, I get a full 4-finger purchase on the handle itself. The handle is a little bit on the larger side, but it is nice and slim, so it doesn't feel too thick in your hands. Then you have your choil right there that your finger falls into, and it locks, the blade locks itself. As far as lockup, it is nice and tight. No blades play whatsoever on this D2 blade. And then you do have the Firebird logo on one side right there, and then on the other side you have F3 knife made by Ganzo, and then this one being the H11 in D2 blade steel. I don't know if you guys can make it out. Yeah, there it is. So really, really nice knife overall. You do have a liner lock right there, which locks up again very nice and tight, but you do have enough of it exposed to make it very easy to disengage the lock and go ahead and close that blade. And again, it flips really nice when you flip it open. So let's go ahead and leave this one open right at the top there, and we'll go ahead and take a look at the next one. This one being, again, another one of the Firebird knives from Ganzo. This one here. This is model number FH13-SS, and SS actually stands for stainless steel. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. You're going to see that it is going to share a couple similarities with the one that we just finished looking right there. Put that off to the side there. Again, this one does come with the nice little slip case as well. So we'll put that there. Same stuff inside the box. And then it does come in the little bubble wrap here. So again, pretty similar look to the first guy there. It is just more in a stainless steel body to it. So again, the handle material is going to be stainless steel, so you are going to get a little bit more weight on this guy. Not too much. It doesn't feel too heavy in the pocket, but I do love the look of that stainless steel. And it's kind of tumbled, so and it's like a black stainless steel, which makes it look really, really cool. Again, I could easily see myself carrying this as a gentleman's knife, gentleman folder, just because of the look itself. You do have black hardware on this guy here. Again, it is a flipper on this one, and you do have the tip up carry on the pocket clip, left or right hand, and again, you have that little tab right there that is covering it. You do have the portion in the back here where you can put a lanyard if you wanted to, and then you do have your G10 backspacer here. Even though you have stainless steel handles, you have a G10 backspacer, which is black to kind of match the overall look. It is a flipper as well, so as you guys can see there, same, very similar profile on the blade. And then I like that they went with this kind of light gray look to the logo right here, the Firebird logo. I think it looks really cool. They could have gone with black, but I think black would have gotten lost in there. And then on the other side, you do have a little bit of information, just like in the first one we saw on the knife itself. So made by Ganzo. FH13 D2 blade steel. Now the main difference between this one and the first one that we saw is that this is a frame lock. So instead of a liner lock, you do have a frame lock right there, which is very easy to disengage, and you can close that blade. Again, we'll go ahead and deploy it via that flipper, which is really, really easy to deploy, jimping on the top of the blade right there. So locks up and locks your finger, your thumb right there, and then with your choil right there, it locks all the way around. No sore spots or anything like that on these knives. So I think these would be perfect EDC knives. Now, speaking of this guy, this one on their site retails for $41. So again, just $1 over 40 bucks. You can definitely not go wrong with something like this, or even the first one that we saw there. So I'll go ahead and put that one there. As far as measurements go, you're looking at right around, what is it, 1, 2, 3, about 3.5 inch blade on both of those. As far as the cutting edge goes, 3.5. Overall, you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inches overall. So about 4 inches closed. So, you know, again, again, it is very easy to carry these if you needed to as far as EDC blades go. Just because of how thin and how narrow they are, you can carry them very, very easily. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last one here. This is model FH41S-GY. Again, almost wish they had some sort of names or something like that on these, because those numbers are very difficult to even think to remember those. But we'll go ahead and take a look at this guy here. Again, you do have the pouch there and the rest of the typical stuff inside, and then the knife here in the bubble wrap. This one is going to be a little bit smaller, as you guys can see there. Very easy to carry in the pocket. It just feels really, really nice in the hand. So this one is available in gray. That's what you see here. That's where the GY at the end of the all the model number there goes. Again, you do have G10 scales on it. They are a little bit textured, so it feels really nice in the hand. It doesn't feel like it's going to slip or anything like that, especially if you have, you know, maybe your hands are wet or something like that. It's slick, but it's not slippery. If that makes any sense. There is some sort of contouring and texture to the G10 handles there. This is a flipper tab as well. Some jimping on there. The flipper actually sticks up, straight up, as opposed to like the ones on this one, where you can see they do stick up, but it's a little bit wider, the flipper tab, and the flipper tab on this one is thinner and it sticks up a little bit more than it does on these. But again, it is a smaller size knife, as you can see it here in my hand, so you're going to want to make sure that you have a good purchase on that flipper when you go to deploy it. And as you see, it deploys very, very nicely. Let me go ahead and close it up just so we can talk about the pocket clip here. This one is tip up right hand carry only. So again, it does not have the open spacing on the side right here to switch that one around. So kind of sorry for you lefties there. You do have a really sizable lanyard hole that goes through the D10 handle. It goes through the liners, and it actually goes through the back spacer as well, all the way to the other side. So if you wanted to put a lanyard on this, you can go ahead and do that. Speaking of the spacer, it is G10 as well. Color matched to the handle colors there, and a little bit of styling there. I wouldn't call it jimping right there. So looks really, really nice. Again, going and deploying it with that flipper tab. Flips up very, very nice, locks up nice and tight, no blade play whatsoever on this guy. Taking a look at the blade itself, you do have the logo on one side there, and then again, some information on the company, and then FH41S, which is the model number of this one, and then D2 blade steel on this one as well. So again, they're calling this a plain edge drop point D2 blade as well. This one, not as much belly in the front right here, but it does end in a very, very acute tip right there. So really good for piercing, especially if you're opening up packages and stuff like that. But as I mentioned, this is a nice, nice knife for gentleman's carry, EDC carry. It is a little bit smaller than the other two right here. Let me go ahead and put it here side by side on these. So as you can see, this is 1, 2, almost 3. I would say, I would call it 3, but 3-inch blade as far as the cutting edge right there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches, almost 7 inches overall. So it is a little bit smaller than the other two by about an inch overall. And again, looks really, really nice. Jimping on the top of the blade right there, very, very functional. It locks your thumb right in there. And then you do have a liner lock on this guy as well. The liners are steel and they are a little bit skeletonized, so that it does cut back on the weight. So this one is going to be a lot lighter than the other two because it is a little bit smaller, but especially lighter than that stainless steel one. But again, with a larger knife, I do like a little bit of weight to them, because that way I don't have to worry about it. If my EDC tasks get a little bit rough, I know the knife is going to be able to handle that. You do have your choil right there, and then it fits really nice. Even though it's a little bit smaller, I do still get a full 4-finger purchase on the knife. Really nice if I want to choke up and kind of do some more intricate work with this knife. I think it's going to be able to handle that. So I was really impressed with the selection that Ganzo sent over to me here so I can check out. I think they look really nice. They make for great, awesome EDC knives, and I think think, you know, if you haven't had one of these in your collection, I would definitely recommend that you pick one up. The smaller one here actually retails on their site for about $35. I'll go ahead and leave a link to their site, so if you guys are interested in picking any of these up or maybe checking out some of the other ones, I'll also leave a couple of links to their social media pages, because again, as I mentioned, especially with knife and flashlight companies, it's always good to follow them on social media, because a lot of them have been taking to social media to kind of showcase some of their new releases and things like that. I do have one more knife that they sent over that I did want to do a individual video on, so if you guys are interested, you know, stay tuned for that. But again, I just wanted to kind of showcase some of the knives here that Ganzo sent over, because I think they make for great EDC knives. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.